In the previous videos, we covered off on identifying your triggers as well as where they manifest in the body. In the second video, we covered off on doing a recce, actions on, and the best times for you to go into these public spaces. Rounding it off in this video is safe space. Safe space is somewhere that you can identify that feels safe for you. It's such an important thing to be able to have somewhere that you could go. And as I alluded to in the previous video and the example with the kids, it's somewhere you could go, you can meet, and you can RV with someone to know that you're safe, or it's somewhere that you could feel that you can retire to, that you could come in, you can exit out of the building and do something like that. Even, say for example, you're in a restaurant, one of my actions is, I do not like to have my back with everyone behind me, behind my back. I like to position myself so I can see what's going on in front of me, as well as identify any exits or what's happening. So that's something in my control. So safe space, somewhere. Let's identify that into 3 places. One is in the location, like we spoke about in that example. A safe space at home, in your home. And the third one, in nature. Let's talk about something like this and where we might be positioned. Let's go back to the example of the shops. At the shops, I've identified during my recce that there's a certain area that's much more quiet. And usually these are the ones where you might see that there's more for lease signs, or there's less traffic that's going through there, especially in the big West fields. Let's use that example. In location, at the shops, I've identified that there's a quieter space somewhere in that shopping center. And then also there's couches. Let's move on to at home. I've actually created a space that I know, which is my listening lounge. I'm a DJ, I like music. So I've got my listening couch, my rehearsal area. That's a safe space for me at home. And lastly, if we're out and about, is something in nature. I love being in the bush. I also love the ocean and the water. And where I live now, I'm close to the beach. So I'm going to use the beach in this example. Please, by all means, when you do your exercise, let's go through and then name as many as you can of safe spots that you need within your sphere. I'm just trying to give you a good example, walking you through the exercises in my own situation. I have identified at the shops a quieter spot with couches. At home, I've identified the listening couch / rehearsal area is somewhere that I like to be able to go to. And thirdly is nature by the beach. We've spoken about self-care, and we will go into that a little bit more in the next module about how to bring our levels down after an incident. But there's 2 parts here now. So what we've got is the first bit is during the time, at the time of the event. And then the second part was the self-care at home and in nature. Now, at this stage, I've identified these safe spaces. These are the questions that I'm going to ask myself. In my safe space, I feel safe. I feel at ease. I feel empowered. I feel happy. I feel awesome. Right? So in my safe space, I feel safe, I feel secure, I feel happy, I feel at ease. It looks like, at the time, it looks like somewhere that's quieter at the shops with couches. It's much more. It's feeling safe. I can see out. I can see my entries and exits. I can observe what's going on. So this is the positioning as well. So the safe space at the time was that I'm positioned at a couch, looking out. I'm positioned on the couch, looking out in a quieter zone so I can see what's happening, even if I feel overwhelmed. I'm employing the Soldier's 5 steps to the trigger mastery method. But I've gone home now, gone to the shops, got my goods, and I'm at home. I need to bring my SUDS levels down before the wife and kids get home from work, or whatever that might look for you. I'm going to go to my listening couch and rehearsal area, and I'm going to employ the aftercare step to the Soldier's 5 to the trigger mastery method. That's all part of the Trigger Tamer Toolkit. Listening couch, rehearsal area, it looks like a safe space. It looks like I've got all my gear there. This is my belongings, right? My stuff. It's got my special couch with my ass bloody molded into it, right? It's got my couch. It smells like really cool DJ gear and electronic equipment. After a while, when all that gear's on, it emits a smell. That smell, after a while, when all the gear's heated up, smells awesome. If you're a musician, an example would be like a valve amplifier. I used to play guitar, and when that valve amplifier was on, there was just this sweet smell that had come on after the valves were nice and hot. Maybe that might be something in there. You might be in a spot at home near the kitchen. You might be smelling that nice food emanating, whatever works for you. But in that safe space for me at home, it smells like DJ gear, that smell that it emits when it's nice and hot. In my space, I can hear at home. I can hear music. I might even be able to hear the kids playing outside. I can hear the birds. I can hear subtle background noise. Time at the shops, at home. But I might not go home straight away. I might go somewhere that actually just will calm me down as well. I can employ the aftercare bit in the Soldiers 5 to the Trigger Mastery method, and I might go down to the beach. The beach, it looks like water, sand, dunes. Right, if I go to my local beach, that's what's there. It smells like salt. Sometimes in winter, it might smell like seaweed. It might smell a bit pongy. Right? I know those smells. In my space, I can hear the waves crashing. I can sort of hear an ocean sound, right? That ocean sound. I can hear the wind pass between my ears. I can hear seagulls. I can hear the woot of surfers catching the wave and people in the water. I can hear people playing in the water. You get the idea. So I've identified what makes me feel calm, what makes me feel safe, what makes me feel at ease, relaxed and happy. These are some of those other feelings that you can get that will help you bring your levels down. And I've mentioned SUDS before, which means subjective units of distress. We call it SUDS. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, stressed out, and then 0 being I'm not stressed, I'm in a blissful state. That's what it is, just to be able to clarify what SUDS is if I've mentioned it in previous videos. So there you have it. Safe space. We've covered off on safe spaces that you might identify during your reconnaissance of a place at the time in location. All right, I'm going to go somewhere quieter with these couches. I'm going to position myself like this, and I'm going to employ the self-care step of the Soldiers 5 to the Trigger Mastery method. When I get home, same again. I've identified my listening couch and rehearsal area where I might put on a CD, sit on my nice couch that's got that smell. I can smell of the DJ gear and electronics, and that makes me into my happy place. Or if I go down to the beach, I can put my feet in the sand, I can feel the sand, I can hear the water, I can smell the salt, seaweed as well maybe, I can hear the waves crashing, I can hear some seagulls and the woots of someone getting onto an amazing wave. Now that we've covered off on safe space, I'd like you to go and do the activity for your own situation in the next module and video.